What if your entire life could change with just one decision? Watch this inspiring story to find out how. Arjun had always dreamed of running a successful business. For years, he worked hard to build his company, but a sudden financial crisis wiped out everything. His investments failed, his debts piled up, and his closest friends abandoned him. Now, sitting in his empty shop, he stares at the scattered bills on his desk. His phone is silent, no calls, no messages. The world had moved on, but he was stuck in his failures. With his head in his hands, he wonders if this is how his story ends. That evening, feeling hopeless, Arjun wanders to the park, lost in thought. He sits on a bench, staring at the ground, questioning his existence. Just then, an elderly man with wise eyes and a warm smile sits beside him. The old man watches him for a moment before speaking. "You look like a man searching for answers." Arjun sighs. "I had dreams, but I failed." The old man gently hands him a folded note and says, "Read this when you're alone." Arjun hesitantly takes the note and puts it in his pocket, unaware that this small piece of paper will change his life forever. That night, unable to sleep, Arjun finally opens the note. It reads, "You are one decision away from a completely different life." The words hit him hard. He realizes that while he can't change the past, he still has the power to change his future. Instead of drowning in regret, he picks up a notebook and writes down everything he learned from his failures. He lists his mistakes, his weaknesses, and his missed opportunities. At that moment, he makes a promise to himself. He will try one more time, but this time, he will be smarter, more prepared, and more determined than ever before. Arjun starts fresh, working tirelessly to restart his business. He spends hours researching market trends, studying successful entrepreneurs, and developing a new strategy. But the road is tough. His savings are almost gone, and no one believes in him. He reaches out to investors only to hear rejection after rejection. Days turn into weeks, and frustration creeps in. He wonders, am I just chasing an impossible dream? But every time doubt fills his mind, he looks at the note and reminds himself, one decision can change everything. Instead of giving up, he works even harder, determined to prove everyone wrong. One day, just when Arjun is about to lose hope, he receives a call from an old client who had once admired his work. The client, impressed by Arjun's resilience, decides to invest in his business. This small breakthrough changes everything. With renewed motivation, Arjun puts all his energy into building his company again. He carefully implements his new strategy, avoids past mistakes, and focuses on delivering quality. Slowly, customers start returning, and his business begins to grow again. Months of hard work finally pay off. Arjun's business not only recovers, but thrives beyond his expectations. His efforts, sleepless nights, and unwavering belief in himself lead him to success. The same people who once doubted him now admire him. His business expands, new opportunities arise, and he finds himself in a position stronger than before. He realizes that the failures of his past were not the end, but a lesson. Each struggle was shaping him into the person he needed to become. One evening, as Arjun sits in his office, he takes out the note the old man gave him. He reads the words again. "You are one decision away from a completely different life." This time, he smiles. He understands now. Life is not about how many times you fail, but how many times you stand back up. He had been on the verge of giving up, but one decision changed everything. Looking out at the city skyline, he makes a silent promise. "Whenever I face difficulties again, I will remember. Success is always one decision away."